Welcome to Be Somebody. Have you ever thought, when should I walk away from a relationship? Let's talk about that. Also, stay tuned for a special surprise at the end.
Welcome to another episode of Be Somebody Podcast.
Be Somebody Podcast.
My name's Enrique.
My name's Amadeo. Enrique's already in tears before we even started the episode.
As a reminder to what Be Somebody is.
It's a heavy hitter. Be Somebody is a global community of people chasing their full potential and supporting each other all along the way. We champion self-growth, self-expression, and self-realization.
Exactly.
If that sounds good to you, welcome to the community.
If you need a back, we got your back.
Have a back.
Have a back. From
Have
the
a
previous
back.
episode. Have a back.
And find good people who have yours too.
Exactly. Man, how are you doing, dude? Here we are, another week, another episode. I'm honestly really proud of us. We are 7 episodes in now. Like, this is the most amount of consistent work we've done in like our whole podcast
This is
career.
incredible. This has been a generational run.
Yeah, generational run. Yeah,
I want to shout out Enrique because
we're Michael Jordan in the 3P right now. 3 NBA championships right now.
I think we're warming up, dude. We're probably
rookie
of the year.
We might retire and try baseball.
The predictions are looking
That's
good.
a deep cut right there if anyone's listening.
I don't know about that. I think we're gonna keep it going.
We're Messi and Ronaldo right now, back to back Ballon d'Ors.
This is the game we know best.
Exactly.
We're learning. Welcome back. I want to shout out Enrique real quick because, dude, you introduced a complete overhaul to the system behind the podcast, like the architecture.
Yeah.
The infrastructure supporting
We've changed.
what we've been doing for almost 7 years, man.
We've changed.
We've changed?
That's a clickbait title right there.
Yeah, you love those.
But yeah, like Amadeo mentioned, we took some time off, living life.
Some time. 2 years. Dang near 2
Yeah,
years.
we took a long time. But yeah, I mean, the podcast was always something, Be Somebody was always something that I knew we were going to return to. We were just kind of living life and growing and trying and failing at different things. And it just felt right to come back. And these were all kind of ideas that are part of the mission that we've always wanted to do. And it just seemed natural that when we came back with a whole new look, a whole new feel, a whole new methods of extending the mission to Be Somebody.
That's right.
And that's resulted to this. And emphasis on the end, there's a lot more that we have cooking.
So much more, like we said, than just two guys talking, catching up, trying to get out into the world, trying to see everyone's beautiful faces, meet new people, have great conversations.
Exactly.
And make an impact. However big, however small.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Impact's an impact, man. A win is a win.
A win is a win.
And that's what makes me feel good because honestly, dude, I was slipping. And I got so lost. Like we discussed, lost in the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Just deep, swirling around, not really having like a place to plant my feet. Just feeling like what's going on? I need to figure everything out. Like I gotta race. I gotta have everything just sort of all my ducks in a row.
Right.
And just completely lost on what is truly important to me, what actually matters, what has made a difference in my life. This podcast was something that I started because it was just like we always talk about, an excuse to not only see each other, catch up, have a great conversation, but unpack what I'm feeling.
Right.
Unpack what I'm noticing, back and forth, and just encouraging one another.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a space that I think everyone should have in their lives.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's I just had a talk with a family member of mine, and it was that talk about the 5 closest people in your circle is a representation of who you are and a reflection. And very much, I think what you're referring to is, Be Somebody. We want to extend that circle to all the viewers and have a space where you can grow and become a better version of yourself. And that is kind of like the mission of it. And it's so important to not hold yourself accountable to what you want to achieve, the goals you want to do, because as we were talking about in the previous episode, time just flies by and time stops for no one. No. And you either take advantage of it or you just let it pass by.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's something that I have unfortunately realized over and over. It kind of just hits you in the face. You'll be coasting. You'll be thinking everything's fine. Like, I exist. this is my life. This is my life. And then something just knocks you out. There's a kick in the pants.
Yeah.
Like, remember, dude, you're alive. Something's precious about that. Something special about that. So
Mhm.
show up in a way that makes you feel that way.
Exactly. Showing up,
Do what you
doing
can.
it, but at the same time, to sprinkle a little bit of today's topic, not everyone is gonna be, there with you for the ride. Not
Nope.
everyone's gonna follow your cadence, your rhythm, your drive to wanna do more, and
Which is completely okay. And that's
it's
another
okay.
thing that we want to talk about.
Spoiler alert, it's okay. But before we mention that, just go a little bit on the previous topic. I do want to mention, I just was talking to Amadeo about this before we hit record, but I heard a big no today for something that I really wanted so badly, and I thought the universe was lining it up for me. And it's okay. Rejections happen. It hurts, but that's what happens, and that's what life handed me. And it's a matter of just moving on to the next thing. Just keeping your keeping that momentum of, okay, that wasn't for me, on to the next thing.
Let's not jump to conclusions. We don't know.
That's
Maybe
true.
the scheme isn't over yet.
We don't know. That's
the
life.
plan is mysterious. You say it all the time. Life works in mysterious ways.
Life works in mysterious
You're like-
ways, and life works backwards.
I feel like some of the top 3 things you say to me on a regular basis are, dude, I'm in a pickle. Or like, dude, I gotta make a big choice.
Right.
Or like, dude, life is mysterious, man.
we really out here.
And we really out here, and life makes sense only when you look at it backwards.
Yeah, there you go. Life makes sense only when you look at it backwards.
I've never forgotten that. The first time you told me that, however many years ago.
Which I have to acknowledge to my friend Stephanie, if she's listening. She put me onto that.
Shout out, Stephanie. Let me put you on.
Life only makes sense when you look at it backwards. So what that means is there will be a series of yes, no decisions that happen. You like being let go of this position or whatever it is that at the time you don't understand why it's happening, but it pushes you to reach a position, a stage, a mentality that you need to get to the next step. And only once you're there, you look back at the progress you made and you realize, oh wow, it makes sense when I look at it backwards. But at the time, it made no sense to me why it was happening. I was distraught. It was just tough, but just keep going.
It could take a long time too.
Yeah.
Because I definitely have moments where I look back and I'm like, should I have really made that choice?
Right.
Should I have really chosen option B?
Right.
Instead of option A? Like, what would have actually happened? But then again, like, the story's still being told.
Yeah.
And I chose my life. I make my decisions.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I am today.
Right.
I take responsibility for that. As long as I'm trying my best, I can't see, like, what can I regret?
Yeah.
But I'm not a gambler.
You're not a gambler.
Maybe I'll throw like $5 on a parlay and like, lose it.
Okay,
here's a gambler.
Here's my stance about gambling. Is Amadeo and I have this debate off camera the other day, but I only put money into something that I feel very confident in. Like something I follow every day in terms of like podcast news that I have like, I mean, I don't want to use the term insider knowledge because that's not true. But I just feel so.
It's not insider knowledge. You're just taking from external, published resources.
But those are the only subjects I feel comfortable gambling in. Opposed to Amadeo over here, will just throw like $20 on whatever.
$20, I haven't gone that high yet. I've been throwing like $5.
Okay, throw $5 on whatever.
I got a free entry the other day, so I put like the free entry.
Yeah.
Because I didn't lose anything off that.
See, there you go.
But
two different type of players here.
Because like I'd either spend $5 on a overpriced latte. Actually, that's not even overpriced anymore. That's like the standard. That's actually like a deal.
That's a deal. Yeah.
At this point.
$8 for a latte.
$5 on a latte that I'll enjoy for an hour. Might give me somewhat of a caffeine buzz for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever that might be. Sure.
Yeah.
Or throw $5 to the mysterious parlay, and we'll see if the forces work in my favor.
Exactly.
But I'm not a gambling man. I feel like it's dangerous. I've also never really succeeded, but I'm glad I've never succeeded. That's not necessarily something I want to introduce to my life. Hook.
Yeah, gambling is bad. This is your PSA.
Get the bug. Like I guess if your family member gives you a scratcher for fun, as a quirky birthday or Christmas present, yeah, sure, cool.
Yeah.
But it's serious, man. Gambling, just like so many other things that give people a rush, can become a serious addiction.
But what if it doubles?
Oh, dude, that's actually you're
right.
What if? I never thought about that. What if it triples?
What if it hits?
Then there you go. It was all worth it. Ooh. I was right all along.
You were right all along. No, but seriously, gambling is bad.
Be careful. Be responsible.
Yeah, so essentially I wanted to talk to you about this kind of situation this thing that I feel a lot of people come across, that I want to see if you've ever kind of had experience with, where, you know, this could go from being in a relationship, being in a friend group, being on a class project, being on a work project, anything, where you're essentially in a situation with someone else, and you feel like you're giving more to the project, to the relationship, to the whatever you're working on, and you feel like the other person isn't meeting you halfway, isn't even meeting you halfway, maybe even giving 10% and you're giving 90, and you're kind of overreaching, and you're either continuing because there's a romantic connection there, there's you know, a need to want to get a good grade, there's a need to do well on this project, there's a need to want to keep a flame going from a friendship from before, but you're just not getting that return, and you feel like you're kind of exhausting yourself, you feel like you're being held back. Maybe it's in the situation where you want to better yourself, and you tell your friend, hey, let's get in shape this year, the next 3 months, let's go to the gym every single day, but you feel like your friend has not been following up, and you've kind of been not just only keeping yourself motivated and giving yourself this determination, but you've been like overextending to give this energy to someone else, and now you're like wearing yourself out more.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's assume, how long has this been going on? Is this a trend over a course of an extended period of time? Because it can't just happen in like a day, a week, a month. That's not enough time to actually come to the conclusion.
I think it's less like situational based, like in terms of
it's just something that you feel overall.
Yeah, it's just like this idea of, when do you, I don't even want to, lack of a better word, say give up on someone, or move on from someone, or
let go.
Yeah, let go. Or when do you just kind of keep going and hope that eventually someone will see your worth, or see your value of what you're bringing into it, without, you know, causing yourself to burn out, causing yourself to lose motivation in terms of the goal you're pursuing. Yeah.
You'll never be enough for someone who doesn't want you. You'll never be enough for someone who sees your value without.
Wow. Wait, say that one more time.
You'll never be enough for someone who doesn't want you. And you'll never be enough for someone who doesn't see your value from the start. Mm-hmm. Like, just because you achieve this, and this, you might think that makes you more valuable. Mm-hmm. But that person doesn't care in the first place. If it's already come to the point where you're exhausting yourself, like you said, you feel held back. You feel like you're draining your energy by trying to sustain this relationship. You're giving but not getting. Mm-hmm. And this is consistent, and this is over a prolonged period of time, where it becomes like a noticeable pattern.
Right.
That's a negative cycle. That is something that perhaps should be reevaluated, in the sense we're like, okay, hold on a second. What's going on here? Mm-hmm. What's the situation? What has changed? Has it always been like this? Or did something occur?
Right.
Is it just like, for example, let's break this down like situation by situation, because this can happen with, like you said.
Yeah, this is hard to talk about because it's such a broad kind of. It's the same overall theme I'm referring to, in terms of someone not meeting you in the middle, mm-hmm. and it's so different in all these situations, in relationships, in friendships, like, you know, high school friendships, you know, friendships with the kids on your street that you grew up with, and now you're, you know, in high school, now you're in your 30s, you have kids, but you know, you still want to be a good friend, but they're not meeting you in the middle. Like, when do you kind of stop? When is it okay to stop, without, you know, being rude or whatnot, to being in a workplace environment, and you're working on a project and you're doing everything, and the person you're supposed to work with isn't doing anything. You know, there's politics to every little thing, but this overall theme of you're exerting so much energy and so much of your own kind of like worth into something, and someone isn't reciprocating it, is like the overall theme, like, I want to touch on, which again is broad, is what I'm referring to. But I guess it's more of like internally looking at yourself versus, I think, externally looking at someone else. I think coming to an agreement of like certain criteria and like values that you have within, that when you feel like you've checked all these boxes, it's like time to kind of like stop or else you're gonna reach a point where it's a breaking point where you're gonna fail in terms of other things that you have going on. And I think that's where I want to kind of find that middle ground.
Like we said, politics, there's nuance in every single one of these situations, because it can differ depending on a friend, on a parent, on a group project.
A group project, yeah.
A coworker, your neighbor, whatever it might be, where you feel like there is, or there was supposed to be, some kind of common ground or a common objective, and you're trying to maintain something, but it's just not being returned to you. It's not being reciprocated. And in this maintenance, you're just exhausting yourself. You feel just absolutely like you're taken away from yourself because someone else won't give you what you need.
Right.
And I don't know if this is a hot take. It doesn't feel like a hot take to me, but I think that's a waste of time, because there are so many people, there are so many situations, there are so many things out there, places, events, jobs, people. Like, you know, maybe different with parents, but there are so many people who can give you, who can meet you there.
Yeah.
Who can give you that enthusiasm.
That's very true. And I think like this is why I like wanted to talk about this episode, because I think fundamentally Amadeo and I are, obviously we're our own people, but I think this is kind of where like we draw the line. Well, we don't draw the line. Like, this isn't like, oh, I hate you because you think this way, but Amadeo and I both like see it in different ways, where we'll talk about it later down the line, where a specific situation in terms of like old friends that we have, and the way like Amadeo sees it and the way I see it. Because I think I'm very much in the opposite realm, where it's kind of extending that. Like, I feel like I almost personally, and this is just me personally, like my situations and relationships and whatnot, I feel like I always extend the hand. And it's to the point where like I'm almost even like critical now, where I have to check myself and think, am I overextending too much? Am I checking in too much? Am I being this pillar for someone for too long, that at this point, like, they're just not even, like, they're just more used to me being there and don't really, not that I'm looking for anything to gain from it, but, you know, there's no sense of like a thank you or anything like that.
Well, there you go. You have to identify this pattern of one-sidedness.
Yeah.
How long has this been going on?
And
are you always the one? All right, go for it.
But I think it's different than like, I just to know, I think this is different than like people pleasing. Like, I don't think this is people pleasing. This is more of like, these are all kind of relationships or like connections that means something more to me, that I'm willing to kind of like extend that hand. But at one point, is it too much?
I think that's interesting though, because sometimes, depending on the situation, the line between maintenance and people pleasing can blur. Well, all of a sudden you're overextending yourself beyond like, oh, please like me, please value me, please accept me. Here's what I'll do to make you see that. Sorry you haven't seen it before. Maybe I'll try a new move.
Yeah.
But it's just not going to work. There's never going to be a change, because you can't force someone to want to change. To want to change how they feel about you, to want to work. Right.
I guess the way, this is going to sound so cheesy, but the way I view it is kind of like, if you sign the contract to be my friend or to have me in your life, like, that comes with like certain terms and conditions. Like, in terms of like me, like, I have values for myself in terms of being there for someone when like they need you, like being a reliable person. That's like something that I value a lot in terms of myself, and that's something I try to hold up. So when like someone calls in a situation, someone reaches out, like, I'll be there for them. And I mean, and this is passing, like, you know, once that situation happens, like, in terms of being a friend, being the other person in this like relationship, in this other situation, I'll almost like, because I feel like a value I hold so strongly is being reliable, I'll stay there, I think, longer than I need to, in terms of like something fizzling out. And I feel like from the conversations we've had, I feel like it's okay to let go, but I think maybe I need to like view more in terms of when to let go.
It's always there's no one answer, because it just depends on every single situation. But it's just like, when you realize that this is doing way more, it's hurting you way more than it's helping you, and there's just absolutely zero return.
Right.
It's just
it's
an expense. It's an expense.
Right.
You'll never get it back.
But like let's okay. Obviously, I think we can both agree. Like, this is the first criteria. We can both agree that if it's something like hurting you emotionally, like I guess this would apply more for like
Even, dude, it could hurt your career. It can hurt your education.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. So if there's real stakes like that on the line, like we're referring to in terms of relationships, career, and whatnot, I think obviously that goes without being said to let go. I agree with that. I think there's no reason to disagree with that. I guess what I'm referring to now is, I guess we could get into. I was holding it off a bit, but like friendships, like old friendships, where when do we let go? When do we keep reaching out? When do we?
Yeah. And there's an interesting nuance to this that just came to mind where, you know, I don't think most people approach new relationships with, what can I get out of you? You know, what's the reciprocity here?
Right.
Like, what can you give me? And here's what I'll give you in exchange. I think some excellent friendships, very strong friendships and relationships come from a selfless place where I will do something for you even if I don't expect anything in return. But the nuance there occurs was just like how, like I said, establishing a pattern. But like when it comes to a friendship, when it comes to a relationship, there's maintenance. What I'm trying to say. You can't just coast along when it comes to a relationship. That's not how relationships work. Relationships develop. Relationships require adaptability.
Wait, just to confirm, we're talking about platonic relationships or romantic relationships?
Either or.
Okay. I agree with that. I wanted to make that. That was my point.
Either or.
I think this applies to either or.
It could be a friendship.
It could be a
relationship. It can be, yeah. Parent-child relationship. It doesn't matter. It's just a relationship between, you know, you and someone else.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever that might be.
Okay, so that's our second criteria is
between your employer, between your coworkers. It's just relationships.
Right.
In the broad sense.
So that's our second criteria in terms of, one, is this hurting you? Two,
is this pattern?
The standard is you should be giving. It's something you maintain. It's not something that you just have.
Yes.
By both parties, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally. Totally. Otherwise, that just creates resentment, and it creates feelings of neglect.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Where like, what gets hard is like the whole there's history. Yeah. You know.
But like, what is that history? Is it nostalgic? Finish it.
Well, to me, it's like okay, but using the term nostalgic, like that's just to me another word for just history. Like there's layers here. Like I grew up with this person. Yeah. They saw me at my worst. Yeah. They've been there in so many other situations, and just because now it's been 3 years, 4 years since we graduated this or I finished this job and I don't see them anymore, does that just become erased? Like they're like, I'm not gonna put in the work anymore, like to maintain this friendship, this connection with someone else.
Well, here's another interesting take where, what if all you need from each other is just the occasional check-in, which is like, yo, great to hear you, man. Like we haven't talked in a long time, but we're just gonna pick it up where we started. Like that's it. Like we got different things going on, but even just this conversation, that felt good. That's all I need.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm kind of referring to. Where, you know, I'm not saying you should be talking to everyone every single week, but I'm saying, you know, when it's been a year and you reach out to someone and they never get back to you, and then another year passes by, it's kind of like, oh, and it's like Christmas, and it's like everyone sends the, you know, Merry Christmas text, and it's like, okay, or Happy Holidays text. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, do I send it to them? I mean, the last time they left me on scene, and that was 3 months ago. Like, oh, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't. And then that's where it just kind of like falls off. Where then that's what you're talking about. There's that small resentment of, oh, well, they left me on scene, you know. And I'm the type of person, and I'm gathering from what you're telling me. Like, if you were in that situation, you wouldn't text them Merry Christmas. But I'm the type of person where, yeah, I'll double text someone. I'll be like, yeah, Merry Christmas, by the way. And for me, like after the double text, if they don't respond, then it's like,
there you go. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
That's the door closes there.
Because I mean, somebody could have meant to respond, they forgot. Yeah. People get busy, especially around the holidays. I don't know, dude. There's so many different things that could color the situation. Like, there's no one clear cut answer. Like, let them go, get out of there, cut them off. Right. They hate you. They never cared about you.
For sure.
They're a waste of time. Like, get out of there. Get out of there.
Yeah.
Like we have to be a bit more analytical.
For sure. But it's also not that deep is what I'm trying to get at, where
sometimes
Yeah, yeah, I'd say sometimes. I'd say majority of the times. I mean, this is on the basis of like I'm referring more to like platonic relationships. I think it's a whole other level when you're talking about like something that's a romantic relationship. But I think it is sometimes as easy as just picking up the phone and just calling someone randomly, just checking in on them. And it's, it could be 2-3 years and, oh, hey, what's up? Let's check in on each other. How's it going?
Yeah, just something crazy. Like I just saw something that made me think about you, so I thought I'd give you a quick call.
Right.
See how you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's been so long.
Exactly.
You just, I don't know, fall right into it.
Right.
That's like, the best case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it could be like hello.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Good to hear from you, I guess. Yeah, I'm kind of busy. Can I just call you later? Never hear from him. But there you go. That's a whole nother answer.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't think there's anything. Like we said, if this is actively hurting you, like you feel that this is taking away from me. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like myself anymore.
I guess we're in the world right now. I think we're talking about like old friends, and I feel like at that point, your relationship kind of becomes that, and you kind of have to accept it. Especially if you don't live in the same city anymore, and you occasionally would only see them if you go back home or go to some sort of high school reunion or something. That it would make sense for that ball to get moving again.
Well, there you go. That's the key word. Acceptance.
Yeah.
Acceptance. Letting somebody
but
do what they need to do.
Before we get into acceptance, I do want to go back and just mention one thing, which is not in the bubble of someone's hurting you or this like platonic friendship, but in terms of like something else that I was mentioning, which is you're actively trying to do something, whether it's get in shape or you're working on bettering yourself, and you kind of, sometimes people have like these, accountability partners, or someone wants to do something with change with you, or, you're in a small town and you start working on, some sort of online business, and someone starts resenting you for, I don't want to assume that they're resenting you, but they start, they change their attitude towards you, and you're kind of feeling like a sense of, not support anymore. Like, when do you kind of like let go? Like, obviously they're your friend, your close family member, you talk to them, you say, hey, I've noticed you've changed, but they say, oh, it's a good conversation, but when do you kind of like set the barrier or the just kind of wall of, I'm gonna focus on me?
After having the conversation,
mm-hmm.
after you decide to stop doing the same thing every single time and expecting a different result. If you have for example, let's use the example of a friend. You guys want to start working out together. Yo, let's get in shape, man. The next 3 months, 4 months, however long, let's hit the gym consistently. And it's like, go together so that we can hold each other accountable.
Right.
And if you guys are on the same page when you first get started, yeah, sounds great to me. Let's do it. I want to do that anyway. And then there's like some kind of, there's slipping,
mm-hmm.
like maybe toward the middle or the beginning or whatever point, where all of a sudden like you're the one who's being consistent, but the other person is kind of like, they flaked, they woke up too late,
mm-hmm.
they got there when you finished the workout, they don't seem very motivated to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, the more you talk about it, the more what it sounds like what you said earlier, which is they meet you in the middle, that maintenance, that response to your action.
It's like, were you on the same page in the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden has this contract. If we want to talk about contract, this is contract been broken.
Right.
Not even broken, but I'm just breached.
Contract has been breached.
Call the lawyer.
Yeah.
Get that fool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. In that situation, I said, yo. It's like,
yo.
Hey, like we had this. I thought we had this thing that we wanted to do together. I noticed that we just haven't really been consistent.
Mm-hmm.
At least, there's just something going on.
Right.
You don't feel too excited about this anymore. I was really excited about this, and I was excited about doing it together, but it kind of doesn't
mm-hmm.
seem like we're on the same page.
But okay,
because I don't think that's like a reason to drop somebody, But
I do want to acknowledge that, like, I think you and I are making it seem very, oh yeah, just talk to him, have this mature conversation, and say, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. But the reality is, I would
what
say,
are you gonna do? What else?
Eight out of 10 people don't do that at all. So,
because I don't. Okay, finish your point. I keep trying to kind of because like new things are coming to mind.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But I'm just saying, like, isn't that the reality? Is that you and I think, are always like, oh, we'll just have the mature conversation. But I feel like most people,
more often than not, people will not talk. But that's the point that we're trying to make. You gotta get out there. You gotta make a difference.
Right.
You gotta be somebody
mm-hmm.
who does that.
Yeah.
Because if you want
That's
to make
true.
it, if you want to make a change, if you were having the same conversation, then obviously that's a problem. Then obviously
Mhm.
like, dude, I'm done. Like we've talked about this 10 times. You don't want to hit the gym. Like we're not going anymore. Like I'm not gonna wait for you. I'm not gonna text you in the morning like, hey, are you on your way? I'm not gonna do that anymore.
Mhm.
But like, you know, we're still friends. We'll still hang out. We're still cool. We'll see each
Right.
other outside of the gym.
I think what you're trying to hit
That's
is
an
that
example,
at
though.
some point this like shared goal, the shared vision, like has to become to this what we were talking about earlier is that, you know, time keeps going. Like everything falls on you to make that change and carry out. Like you can't rely on someone else all the time for some things, and sometimes it is kind of you that has to force yourself to get out of bed and do it. And that's leads into what we were talking about, the acceptance of, you know, accepting that they're not gonna follow you down this path and you're gonna do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to pick it up where I cut you off?
Or just self-realization.
Yeah.
So I get to where I want to be because I had to fight for everything, for every step. I had to make a difference. I had to show up. I couldn't be average. I couldn't just do what's expected. Like no one's, you know, it's kind of weird to actually talk about it. So I'm just not going to talk about it. But why is it weird? Because it's just not what people normally do. Why are you trying to do what people normally do? That doesn't make any sense, especially if you want to have strong relationships.
Yeah.
You have to be out there. And if it's not reciprocated, if it's just like, well, whatever, let that go. And then find somebody who actually can meet you there. Because there's so many incredible people all around the world, everywhere you go. Why are you wasting your time with somebody who just isn't meeting you on the same page? That just doesn't make any sense. Like if you want to work out, go find someone who loves to work out.
That's true. I hear you, but I'm saying, okay.
I think the original thing is like, you know, how do you let go, or when do you decide to let go?
No, I think for me it's just like also remembering like the day ones. The day ones that supported you to get to where you need to be, but at some point
I'm just kidding.
You had to. Hey, everyone listen to the podcast is the day one. At some point you have to leave the nest to like grow and take the next step.
Of course.
You know? But I think you should always like follow up on people. Check in on people, see how they're doing, like let them know that like, hey, like, yo, I still think about you from time to time. I don't want you to forget that I remember us growing up, or this, that. I think that's like crucial, and I think that's more of like where I was coming from in terms of like my experience of like reaching out and like trying to keep people in like the circle, because it feels like the more we grow as adults, the more things we do, the more things we move, and whatever goal you're pursuing, your circle will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you start meeting these like-minded individuals that just cause you to grow more and do more, and hence the circle gets even bigger. And it's hard to keep up with everyone, but for me, like that's where I think there's like a special like place in my heart for those people that are like the OGs that were in the beginning. And that's why for me, I value so much reaching out to those people from back in the day and making sure like they're still kind of like
around,
somewhat around in terms of like what
involved.
What I'm trying to do, and just keeping them in the loop is really kind of the only thing that I can really do at this point, because it just gets so hectic and so busy.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that. Old friends are a very special example, because that gets tricky. That's where there are more shades of gray here. That's where we're trying to think about like what are the individual factors that are uniquely influencing the situation. Where like these people were special, like you said, they saw me grow up. We've been through it.
Right, I hear you. And
they saw me at my worst.
And I guess what I'm trying to get at is just that contrast that you hear nowadays on everywhere else is, you know, this I'm gonna, you know, lock myself in a basement and grind for X amount of hours for a month and come out completely changed.
I locked myself in a room until I made $1 million.
Yeah, like all these things you hear where it's like, work so hard that you're unrecognizable. Like all these things where it's like,
yeah, become unrecognizable.
Yeah, where it's like, yeah, and it's just like
switching up on the day ones.
Yeah, switching up on everyone, and to me it's like I don't like what would be like what we're trying to get at in the Be Somebody is like all about like community, and your community involves the people that were there in day one, as well as the people that you've made now, that you've transformed yourself from this basement. I want to know where this basement is. Let's transform all these people. But yeah, I guess that's just what I'm trying to like really hammer in.
In the case of old friends, I don't think there's anything wrong with consistently trying to reach out. However, here's another thing. What if
Mhm.
you were reaching out for a year and you didn't hear anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
2
not saying you
years.
should be reaching out every month. I'm just saying this
No,
is
not
like,
every month, but like, you know, every
once
so often it's like,
once every 6 months,
hope you're good.
every
I don't know,
every
checking in
year.
every now and then, like, oh, I'm, you know, I'm visiting back home.
Yeah,
Like, do you have some time to
right.
catch up real quick?
Mhm.
Something.
Here's something that I do.
But you never hear anything. Like,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is like you never hear anything.
Right.
At that
Not
point,
not
you're
to.
like, okay.
I don't want to name drop, but I worked on this TV show called Young Sheldon, and there's a group of friends that I worked on when I was on that show.
Name dropping, Cloud Chaser,
No.
LA,
No,
changed
no,
you,
no.
man.
But the point is, like, they're a group of friends that we became very close because we've spent so many hours working together. And it's like, you know how everyone has like little family, little clique at wherever you work at. You know, you form your like
Yeah.
you know, your work friends. And it's almost like when you leave to another job, you lose that kind of family, and it'll never be the same. You know, you have new work friends, new work so and so, but with this specific group of friends, every quarter we have dinners. So every single quarter we each rotate. We all pick a spot to eat, and we meet up every Sunday of every quarter and just catch up, get dinner together.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be someone who wants to do that. You got to be somebody who makes the step. Let's do this, guys. Let's go. Because there are people, for example, at my previous job,
Mm-hmm.
there are people who moved on, but they still hang out with everyone else because they actively go. They like, I don't know, they meet up at the bars. They go have dinners. They go to parks. I don't know, they're just out and about. They go to the beach, whatever that might be. They just spend time together outside of work because that's what they were doing anyway when they were working together. So that relationship hasn't necessarily changed now that people have gone on separate paths.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's just like, what's that effort? You want to change? You want a difference?
Mm-hmm.
Go make it. Try.
Yeah.
And if it's really not being reciprocated, all right, dude, let me go try that with something else, with someone else.
Yeah.
Because that's what you want to do. Like, there's a reason, like, you are that person. You want to have those kind of connections. And I think you deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
So go find that. Why are you depriving yourself of what you want?
Right.
Is it comfort?
Mm-hmm.
Is it, oh, it's history. Got to keep the history. It's just like, all right, I got my day ones, but where the day ones at? Where'd they go?
Right.
Like, they're in my heart, but I don't see them.
Right. No, for sure. But yeah, for sure.
Or it's just like, there's so many examples, if you're in a group project, for example, and it's just like, you're doing all the work, no one else is wanting to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden,
I guess like what I'm trying to get at also is like, I feel like most people I talk to about this, they're always on the mentality of, oh, well, they haven't reached out. And it almost seems like most times people are in the mentality of, oh, well, if they reach out, then yeah, I'm up for it. But they haven't reached out. And I guess what I'm trying to get at is, why don't you reach out?
there you go.
I don't think enough people ask themselves, like, why don't you
Are you too
extend
proud?
the hand?
Are you too proud?
Why don't you make the effort just to send the text?
Or is it, do you say that because you feel better about the fact that you haven't reached out, or that you don't feel too interested?
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of absolve yourself of this responsibility. Because, you hear that all the time. Oh, it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. Yeah, it is a two-way street. But sometimes you got to drive up it first.
Yeah. And especially with these like relationships that span throughout years, decades, we are ever growing, changing like humans. There is things we've learned about ourselves, about maturity, that there's never too late to send a text of, hey, just thinking about you. I know things didn't end the way we wanted to, but hope you're well.
Yeah, or maybe even not
I
even
don't-
saying that.
I don't think-
Depending on what it is, I suppose.
Yeah, depending what it is, of course. But I think I guess what I'm trying to say is just making it okay to reach out to someone and just send a thought. That doesn't necessarily lead to a let's hang out, let's catch up. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, just hope you're good, dude. It's also made me think of you.
Exactly.
Hope you're good. Yeah, I had a coworker. He moved on to a different opportunity, but he continued to text me like every so often, out of the blue. Sometimes for holidays, or sometimes it's like, "Yo, I just saw this, made me think about you. Hope you're doing good, man. I'm doing pretty good over here too. Just kind of getting used to things. Stay blessed.
Yeah.
Wishing you the best, bro. And even just hearing something like that, it's just like, that's a good dude. That's a good dude. Because it doesn't have to say like, oh, when are you free?
Yeah.
When are you free?
And like 9 out of 10, most people would love to get a text being like, hey, I was thinking about you. hope you're doing well. It's just like, oh, that makes you feel well. Like, oh man, I was thinking about you too. You're a good too. Have a good time.
And sometimes it's not personal.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not personal, and someone has just decided to, I don't know, drift away.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but like, yeah, I think it's something else we haven't mentioned at all that I do want to mention is, yeah, people go through things in life, and sometimes you're totally unaware of what they're going through, and that's okay. And maybe that's why they haven't reached out. Maybe that's why they haven't gone back to you. And it could be 2 or 3 years that something happens, and then finally someone's like now reaching out. And I think just being open and willing to, oh, they didn't respond to my past 3 messages in the past 3 years. I'm not gonna, now they're crawling back. I think being
crawling back.
Oh yeah, crawling back via a text saying,
"Hey, trouble. Hey, stranger."
But I think being okay with willing to like hear them out, because I think we all are on our own kind of journeys, and yeah, all of us go through our own kind of paths, and I just don't think you never know what someone is going through.
Sure. What I'm trying to say, I almost said, like, I don't know, you shouldn't also let someone else's unique journey affect your own.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it getting in the way of, do you feel stuck? Do you feel like you're not making any progress? Do you feel held back?
Mm-hmm.
Like we discussed earlier. So let's reevaluate.
Right.
Let's think about a new path forward.
Right. What are you talking about in terms of them reaching out, right?
I mean, this conversation is going in so many different ways. Where it's just like, if we're talking about old friends, reach out, be there.
Yeah.
Think about people that you care about.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not getting anything, if it's really not being reciprocated, if it's been years, and you're just not hearing anything, man, okay.
But I think overall, like, what I do want to like sit in for a bit longer that we were getting at is just this feeling of just acceptance of letting go and moving forward, and using that. Like, you shouldn't ever let someone else inability to follow along, to work hard, to have this motivation, this grit for something that you're passionate about, like, hold you back. I think that's where you do your thing. That's where you follow your passion, your love, what you like to do. I think it's no secret. I've always been passionate about certain things that a lot of people that I grew up with weren't necessarily passionate about. And I never kind of let that stir me away. I always kind of focused on, eventually I'll find my people. And I feel like that also is what made me unique and stand out now that I'm amongst all these other people that love what I also love, but also my identity and like my background make me unique in this situation. So it's never a curse for you not being in that circle, that community, that small town of not having other people passionate about what you want to do, what you like. Just know that I think that goes into whatever you're working on, whether it's STEM, whether it's the arts, whether it's a business, whether it's anything. It adds to the value that you bring.
Mm-hmm. So back to what we were talking about, acceptance, letting them. I found something interesting, and I think people have been talking about this for years now. Like, let them, the let them theory is what I've been seeing.
Yeah, I think I've heard about that.
Where if someone shows you who they are, if someone treats you this way, let them. Okay, let them. What difference does it make to you?
Mm-hmm. Right.
What, are you gonna fight it? Are you gonna force yourself to meet them at their level? Are you gonna take away your peace, your energy, for someone who doesn't care?
Right. Someone's not even giving you that decency of.
So in the sense of letting go, you let go of a reaction, because there are things that you can control and there are many things that you can't. What you can't control is your reaction to an event that just is causing you distress, hurt, and you don't want to be in this anymore. You feel like it's negative. Maybe you don't feel like there's a way out, but there's always a choice. You can make it happen. You just have to step beyond, and it can be extremely uncomfortable, beyond uncomfortable, miserable, painful. Take that leap.
Right.
But you have to do it in the sense where, that's not to say be a doormat, let people treat you like however they want to treat you, poorly.
Right.
It's not about that. It's like your behavior, your reactions, this doesn't affect me anymore. I moved beyond that. I have no stake in this.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's how you want to treat me, okay, you can treat me like that. But your bullets, whatever, that's gonna deflect.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, like these particles are ricocheting off of me.
Uh-huh.
Like this makes no difference to me anymore. I can see this maybe applying to, for example, a relationship with a parent.
Right.
And like, you can't leave. You can't, like we talked about in a previous episode, you can't pack up your things and jump out the house before you have the means to take care of yourself.
Right.
But like if someone is just giving you negative comments and you can't do anything, like you can't get out of that situation. It's just like, I just had to take this. That's all right. That doesn't, what they say.
Yeah.
More often than not.
I think it's situational based, but I think I'm agreeing with what you're saying. I think at some point, tolerating all this kind of becomes disrespectful to yourself.
Yeah.
And your own values and your own self-worth.
Doormat. Like you let them up to the point where don't become a doormat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, I'm done. You can treat me however you want to treat me, but I'm already thinking about.
Well, I mean, I think it all ties back to what
this doesn't affect my worth.
Yeah, I think it all ties back to what you were saying earlier, which is simply put, there's so much things that you can't control. So why sit in that and just focus on what you can control and what you can do to move forward and change.
Mm-hmm. I can reach out to people.
Mm-hmm.
I can go and find a new job. I can go and meet someone who respects me. Yeah. Who wants to be with me. Exactly. Who sees my value. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to dance and force something out. Oh, do you love me now? Do you love me now? Now that I've done this, do you love me now? That's never going to happen. So let them move on. Find something else.
Exactly.
But you have to have like, believe in yourself, believe in the self-worth that you got, because it's always there no matter what. Even if you don't feel it whatsoever, even if you think you're worthless, that's not the case. Yeah. And more often than not, how someone else is treating you is a reflection of them, not of you.
Ooh, dropping the bombs right now.
All that to say, if you're in a situation where you're not being appreciated, nothing's being reciprocated, it's all right. It's not personal. You don't have to take it so personally. That's just how they want to do it. Okay. Let me do me now. Yeah. Exactly. Like, what else is there to say? Like, control it. Have some control. Exactly. Be somebody who controls their own life. Because you can. You can. It took me so long to realize that. I thought so many things were just like, oh, these are the cards I was dealt. Oh, this is the situation. The universe put me here. I can't do anything about it. I can't. Bro. There's always a choice that you can make in order to rise above negative circumstances. Starts with that first leap. Yeah. Agreed. Anything else you want to say about that?
Yeah, I think we should just go back to the question I imposed in the beginning, which is, what kind of criteria can we agree on to kind of approach these conversations of whether a relationship you want to continue or not continue anymore? I think what we said earlier was, is this hurtful? Is this hurtful to your career, your education, your well-being, your mental health? The second point we mentioned was what you were saying about maintenance, essentially, which is effort. Is this person putting in effort? Is this person meeting you in the middle? Is this person trying to meet you in the middle? Are they doing something? Are they aware? And I think the third point, what you were mentioning, was
conversation.
Exactly.
Is there a conversation? Are they willing to have a conversation? Can you sit down and talk about this?
Right.
Or is it just going into a black hole?
Exactly. And again, I feel like this is such a big, broad question. And I think these are just it's a general
checklist.
It's a general checklist. And every situation is so different and so unique, whether it's personal,
very personal,
a romantic relationship, whatever it is. But this is just, what Be Somebody is, which is just a conversation to being able and being vulnerable to talk about it and have a dialogue going with other people, and just kind of get advice, because sometimes when you're in it and you know nothing but you know all the details and you're just so ingrained in it, sometimes just getting a perspective that's outside of the box a bit helps. But ultimately, this is just general kind of thing to checklist to go through.
That's right. Chasing your full potential, realizing that you have the power to live the life that you want, to live a life that you're proud of. So use a checklist. use a system. It's helped me in the past, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's like, okay, this is exactly what you need to do.
Right.
And you'll figure this out. But I think this is a step in order to gain some more information so that you can be better informed about the decision you want to make.
Right.
Yeah, man. One more time. Is there hurtful? Is there effort? Is there a conversation? Check those boxes.
Mm-hmm. The Be Somebody checklist.
The Be Somebody method.
All right, everyone. It's that time.
It's about that time.
For
Let me put you on. Let me put you on.
Let me put you on. So this week, I will go first. It's a bit of a cop-out, but let me put you on. We are going to be doing a Substack for Be Somebody. And it's going to be weekly. We'll see how weekly we can actually make it. You know, there's a lot of stuff we're putting out right now, so I'm a bit hesitant to fall on this kind of scheduling, but
we're trying to be committed, you know.
We're trying to be committed.
That's an extension of that.
And just to acknowledge also, you know, Substack we have as a platform for an extension of ideas of the podcast and things and topics we talk about. But also we also have what we mentioned before, the Reddit, which is more of a platform to engage with people, hear stories, follow up on I tried this, I tried that, or it's more closely tied to our community episodes, which is kind of essentially engaging directly with the community. But do you want to mention anything about the Substack?
Yeah, so the Substack is, like you said, it's just a place where you can read more in-depth insight or just opinionated pieces on topics that we cover in the podcast. So it's like, oh, I wish we would have said this, or it's so interesting. Like that was such a fun topic. Let's dive even deeper and let's share that with the community. So Substack is the perfect place for that. Right. Subreddit, it's really going to be fueled by the community episodes, but we really just wanted to be a place where people can react to the content that we put out. Mm-hmm. Whether that be the podcast itself or what we're doing on social media. What do you think about everything? What's your take? Exactly. Do you have a situation that you want to talk about? What's going on? Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just a place to interact with one another.
Right.
Nurture the community. Sustain
that.
Totally. Establish it. So there you go. Substack, subreddit. Check it out, y'all.
Check it out.
Okay. My turn?
Yeah. What are you going to put me on to?
Let me put you on. All right, dude. I've been checking out this book. I've been wanting it for a while. I finally got it for Christmas. It's called The War of Art.
The War of Art. Okay. What is it
War
about?
of Art by Steven Pressfield. So these are reflections. It's really short. It's almost like another example that I can think of a book that's written like this is Rick Rubin's book, The Creative Act, where he kind of has reflections that only last like a page or two, maybe somewhat longer. And it's The War of Art. Steven Pressfield writes entirely about this concept of resistance. That resistance is an ever-present force that is the antagonist of every creative, of everyone with an ambition. That resistance is what stops you from doing your work. Resistance shows up in many, many forms. Distractions, procrastination, just anything that prevents you from doing the thing that you feel like you're meant for. That's resistance.
Interesting.
And funny enough, he says, because he's a writer in his experience, so he talks a lot about writer's block. But that writer's block is more often just like an excuse. Like, oh, I don't feel like it. I'm not going to do anything. Oh, it's not coming to me. The inspiration's not there. He said that even if I wrote a single sentence and it took me 6 hours, I didn't get anything else done, I'll still feel really good because I did it. I beat resistance. Even for one day. One sentence at a time. I did my work.
Yeah, that's a really interesting topic to kind of form an antagonist to this idea of that's preventing you to do something.
And what I found was very inspiring was that Mr. Pressfield proposed that resistance appears mostly when you are closer to your purpose. When you are closer to what you might really be meant to do, that's when resistance will show itself in its full force and try to really stop you from doing that.
Yeah.
You'll hear voices in your head. You'll find excuses not to do it. You'll delay. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm kind of tired. I didn't eat yet. Maybe I'll eat first and then I'll do it later. Just any form that pulls you away from your work, that is resistance. And it is your objective as an artist, as someone with ambition, as someone who wants to chase a greater potential, to beat resistance.
Well, check it out.
The War of Art.
War of Art.
The war against resistance.
All right, so for our first Be Somebody episode of this year, in the very first Let Me Put You On this year, I mentioned
very
that I was
first.
trying plantain chips. I was in Central America, and I came back, and I was just raving about them. Amadeo mentioned he's never tried it. So for this episode, I went ahead and got a bag for Amadeo to try. So we're going to do a little taste test here to see what he thinks about them.
Yeah, well, I was talking about meditation. This man was talking about plantain chips. But that was the missing element the entire time. Why I could never focus and why I could never ascend to my true power was the lack of plantain chips. It was the lack of zambos.
All right, we're going to do a little taste test. We're not sponsored, but if they want to sponsor us,
We just found, yeah.
they can.
So you like this brand?
Oh, yeah, dude. Well, all right, you try it first, and then you can tell me if you like
All right. Zambos.
Zambos.
Chile limon.
So as Amadeo opens them, I'll go ahead and describe why I like these.
Premium, bro. Premium plantain chips.
Premium plantain chips. So if y'all remember during the Let Me Put You On, I mentioned how they're just as tasty. In my eyes, I think they're healthier. Who knows about the actual ingredients, but I think they're healthier. And it's the chili with lime flavor. Again, we're not sponsored, but if Zampos wants to sponsor us, we'll be happy to eat more plantain chips.
All right, here we go.
Okay, describe why they're different than potato chips.
These are interesting because they're not too far off, but there is that slight banana flavor.
That
Obviously, because it's a
flavor.
plantain. Similar to the plantain.
Plot twist.
Similar to the banana. I want
But I don't want you to say that to like deter people from trying it. These
No,
don't
not at all.
taste like, these aren't banana flavor. These are like, yeah, chili and lime is the best way to describe it.
Dude, there's an explosive lime flavor that comes out like immediately as soon as I bite down that first crunch. It's tasty,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not gonna, clog your arteries. Maybe.
Hopefully, I mean,
Don't get too crazy
I'm not the doctor, but I don't think so.
off the chile limon. It probably depends on where you get them from, the provenance of the chips.
That's true. And I mean, this is just like there's so many versions of plantain chips. So
I'll give it like an 8.
8. I'll take an 8.
A strong 7. A strong 7
Yeah.
to a light 8.
Yeah. I mean, the whole bit is that they're obviously not potato chips. This is a good alternative, is what I'm preaching about. If you want something that's different.
And these are plantains, not potatoes.
Yeah. So overall, get a bag, try them yourself.
Yeah, so you get what? Less carbs, less saturated fats.
I'm not a doctor,
Maybe, I don't know.
but I
Depending
think
on,
so.
check the nutrition facts. Huh?
Yeah, I have no idea. All right, y'all. This was another episode. We'll catch you on the next one.
Be Somebody Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate y'all.
All right. Take care, y'all.